Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry you have to take my apologies, but I don't know all your names. I'll take you back where mine started from was 2007, the 23rd of December. I finished work on the 24th. So as I got up in the night, actually it was to go to the toilet, instead of putting the lights on upstairs and what lit the top of it up, I didn't. I went for a turn into the bathroom. But we'd just had an extension and we'd moved bedrooms. So as I turned for going to the bathroom, I come to a brick wall. So as I stepped back, I fell backwards, rolling down the stairs and landing on the concrete floor at the bottom. I know there's carpet on it, but it's still concrete. Without actually realising it, because this gets only what I've been told, I was lying there. And when they come down to see what the bump and everything was, I was lying on the settee. And at the bottom of the stairs was just a pool of blood. And the blood was coming out my ear, and it was actually just coming onto the settee at this stage. But it gets a bit blurred then. This is only what I've been told. I was took in hospital on the 24th of December. And on Christmas Day, I spent 9 hours on the operating table to save my life, because they had everyone together before and they said they didn't think I was going to come out of it. And if I did come out of it, they said, you don't know what you're going to get back. It might sound a bit funny, but that must put a lump in someone's throat. From there, I come out and I spent 3.5 weeks in intensive care. After coming out of there, I spent 4 weeks in this the eye dependency units, where you've got 4 beds and 1 person what watches them. And I still didn't know who I was. My mum and dad at this stage come see me on my birthday, what's the 15th of January. And I didn't know them, and I didn't actually know what the cards were for. I come out of there, and I was put in a room on my own when I got rid of the tubes and everything. And all I wanted to do was escape. Where I was going, I don't know. And as the doors opened, all I did is kept running. Where I was running to, we must have been like Jekyll and Hyde, because I had a bloke chasing me. Might not sound good, but at that time, I don't know if it was fun or not, but I just kept running. And then I used to sit up all night with them, because sometimes I can actually go for 3 days without sleep. And I was moved from there to Harplands for my home safety. In Harplands till virtually the end of February, when I was end of February, beginning of March, I was released home. On going home, I saw no one for months. I wouldn't go out the house, and if I went out the house, I actually went out when it was hot with a t-shirt on and a big fluffy hat, woolen hat, because I'd got a lump where they removed the skull and put it in my stomach. So as I was going out hot, I don't know if that was getting the attention or what. Every time I went out, everyone was asking what was that. People were looking at you as they walked past you. All the attention come to me. I didn't like it, so I wouldn't go out. Then an Elka come to see me. This might have been was over that. This could be 4 months after. Come to see me, and then she started coming to see me. I don't know if it was every other week or every 3 month or something, and we started going on. Then she asked me if I wanted to go headways. I didn't even know what it was or anything. And she says it's people with brain injuries and strokes. So I actually said yes. So we made an appointment and I started going there. This was in the August of 2008. I started going there, and that was mixing with people like myself, because at one stage I only thought there was me, and I kept asking myself, what have I done to deserve this? There is no answer. I figured that one out now, and this is now 6 years after it. So I started going Edways, and truthfully I still wasn't the same person. My wife at the time, we're now separated, used to go work, my children would go school. When they come back, I would bite the head off without realising it. 10, 15 minutes, half an hour later, I'd be talking to them as if nothing had happened. And I didn't actually realise I was doing it. There was nothing to tell me what was happening. She didn't know what was happening. It was like take pot luck. No one was saying anything, because it isn't just the person what's had the accident, it's the whole family what need the support to tell them what they're going into. And it wasn't there, we didn't get it. Then 2008, we're in October, and the 10th month is October. Yeah, October, I went in for my second operation. That was to put the skull out of my stomach back into my head. Is it the cap or skull? What, I call it part of my skull. I went in, have that done. I come back out of there, January 2009, my licence turns up through the post. I thought, bingo, it's home time, let's go back work. Went back work, notified them, got my car back, went back work, because I work in Birmingham at a packaging firm. So my car come back and off I went to work. May 2009, I went to see my doctor. He wasn't amused. He wanted to know what was going on, where this I'd got to go back work came from. Sent me back years, but that's a different thing. So I was signed off again. He told me, go back and have a rest, you know what I mean? Like, not finish work, tell them, like, you need a break. So I had a break. That was May 2009. Still not been back yet. I don't think it's coming back. Suddenly, one is, will I be able to drive again? I don't know. 2, up and down the motorway, would it work for me? I don't know. 3, I've got to the stage now where when I do get signed off on medical grounds, it's not going to hurt me, because I've had this build up to it, and I'm getting used to now accepting it. And the 4th one is, since my accident, they've kept my job open. Now, I cannot say a bad word about that. A lot of people would have dished me before now, wouldn't they? So, now we're 2 years after my accident. I ended up in and out of hospital all the time. This was virtually on a weekly basis. Sometimes I wasn't being let out for weeks on end. Epilepsy turned up. I'd never heard of it. I hadn't a clue what it was or anything. So, every time I had a fit, as I come back around after passing out and shaking, I didn't know who I was again. It wiped my brain clean. So I was took back in hospital for my home good till it started come back. Then as it started come back, they used to let me out. Then they started giving me medicine for it. I was having the medicine for a few years and I was still having fits. I'm under Dr. Moore's at the hospital for epilepsy. Well, they sort your tablets and that out. I'm under another one at the same place, even though I'm still under him. I've been seeing another doctor now for 12, 18 months. And he thought my attitude was right to take it head on. Up my medicine, and let's see what happens. So they upped my medicine. It was a bit patchy at first. Then they sorted it out again. And what happened then is, since, touching wood, I will touch that, since September, I have not had a fit. I have double vision, and I call it wonky vision, like where it's going on one of them rides where the floor moves up and down. I have that. I would prefer to have that than a fit, because with that it can last seconds or hours, and that's it. Might sound a coward's way out, but it isn't. Epilepsy scared me. I hadn't a clue what it was, and I hadn't a clue why I was losing my faith, my whatever of who I am. You know what I mean? It was wiping me clean again. It was like start from fresh. We don't know who we are. Get on with it. Get on with what? Then my problem started again with arguments with my wife. But I could argue with her, and then I'd speak to her as if nothing's happened. And it got to the stage where it was affecting the kids, it was affecting everything, so it was time to separate. And I've been separated now for a good 4 years. I still see the kids of, well, one of my daughter now is 25 and my son is 15. But to me, they're still my kids. I see them, and I seem to get on better with them now. Now, me and Tricia are apart. So I moved in a house on my own. It was upstairs and downstairs. Upstairs, bathroom, toilet. So when I was having my bad times, I couldn't get to them. So I had to sell it. Pay it off, because I was still paying the mortgage on it, not working, paying the mortgage, paying single person's allowance council tax. No one was telling me nothing. So that carried on. So my daughter was paying a lot of my mortgage for me. So she was paying the mortgage for me. I was paying the council tax and gas, your general run-of-the-mill bills. So that carried on. So we finally sold it to pay it off, pay my daughter off, because what she'd done for me, she shouldn't have been struggling for keep me afloat. But it happened like that. And that is that stage. There was nothing I could do about it. We are doing better now with my kids and everything than when we were together. I don't hardly see her, but when I see her, all I want is to say hi to her, and I don't want no confrontation in front of my kids. There was nothing I can do about that. Brain injury followed epilepsy followed my brain injury. The arguments come from my brain injury. No, it was like, go get on with it and take potluck. And the potluck went wrong. The other thing is, you've got like Dr. George, Matt. Well, Matt come along then. They give me Matt to help me out, to get me through the times. He was the one who took me out then. Without me out, we used to go for walks and do everything. And that was the kickstart I needed in life to get my life back. So that I had Matt for a bit, then suddenly I lost him. They took him back on the ward. So to get people back into society, vanished. It is back again now, I will say that, but it vanished, it went. So it was like they give me a kickstart, took that off me, because they were short there. But now they've got him back. There's Matt, there's Mark, there's Anelka, and the other lady is the one who I haven't really met. Well, she is sitting there, but Alison, sorry, yes, I do know. They are the ones, there's them 4, and you've got all of Staffordshire. 4 people can't control one, well, Staffordshire is a big area. They can't control it. But truthfully, I am glad I am in the system, because it is the help. The problems we come across, I get help. If Matt isn't around, Headways help me. You've got Philippa, Mark, and there's Philippa, Mark and Sandra, and the other staff. But if you ask one of their staff, you know what I mean, like Sandra helped me out when suddenly I hit a problem when they move you from one to the other on what you get, your benefits. They cut me off for a month and give me nothing, you know what I mean? They said one should have been paying me, then the other should have been paying me, and for a month I got 0. So I was back to my daughter for help. And if in the biggest fingers, I will tell you one thing, and this is what really takes a lot of getting over. Why does society treat you like an outcast? There is no answer. Because every time you go out, you're a magnet to them. You see someone, I'd got a big lump sticking with fluid on my head, like coming out there where they removed this cap, skull, whatever you call it, they put it. And I did at one time until I got my confidence coming back. I hated it. But then I got to the stage I used to play with it. I could play with it, you know what I mean? Like I could move. And that is the way I was at to start making a joke of it to help me through it. My appointments, I have to write all my appointments down as they come, because I was turning up for my appointments, might be the right date, wrong time, or the vice versa. I was saying, no, I've got an appointment here. They said, no, it was yesterday. So I'll make it another one. And there is no way around it. My short-term memory has gone. But when it takes the scenic route now, what I call to my long-term memory, it is absolutely brilliant. I could tell you it back virtually word to word. But I could have a full-blown conversation with, say, any of you in here. Tomorrow, it is so patchy. But give me a week or a couple of days, and I can remember it. 4 or 5 of you sitting around a table now having a conversation between each other. I can suddenly drop back because you seem to have moved the conversation on before I'm answering to the last one. And there's no way around it. But if anyone has got any questions they would love to ask, I would absolutely feel free to answer them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.